Is everyone ready for me to begin? Okay, let's begin. Take a moment to think about all of the everyday tasks a person must do while relying on color recognition. Do you rely on color to pick out ripe bananas? What about watching a traffic light turn green? What about making a Christmas card? There are countless tasks that require color recognition, and for someone like me, those tasks don't come easily. You see, I have color vision deficiency, or CVD, often called color blindness. About the only good thing about CVD, besides solving Rubik's Cubes easily, is that I have what my mother calls camouflage eyes. For example, it's really easy for me to spot a turtle hidden in the leaves while going on a hike. So that's kind of cool. Overall, I've had to adjust to situations in unexpected ways. For example, I have pictures of all my clothes so that I know how to match outfits. I often have to ask my sister to help me with picking out socks that match. She helped me with this pair today. You see, sometimes in life, you have to adapt to your circumstances, and that's a good lesson for us all to learn. Today in my speech about color vision deficiency, I'll be discussing with you 3 points. First, what causes CVD? Second, what types of CVD exist? And finally, what are some of the latest developments to help people with CVD? The information I used today came from Karen Levine's book, All About Color Blindness, and Robert Phillips' book, Coping with Color Blindness. So now let's see what CVD is all about. Let's first learn how the eye works so that you can better understand what causes CVD and how it is inherited. All objects reflect different wavelengths of light that the eye perceives as color. Light is sent from the cornea to the pupil and then to the lens. Like a camera, the lens focuses the light and then sends it to the retina in the back of the eye. The retina is composed of photoreceptor cells called rods and cones. The rods are sensitive to light, while the cones interpret color. There are 3 types of cones for the primary light colors: red, green, and blue. Each cone reacts differently to colored light sources, absorbing the color. For example, if you were to see the color purple, your red cone would perceive the red light, and your blue cone would absorb the blue light. The cones then send this information to the brain through the optic nerve. Now that you understand how the eye works, let's answer the question, how does the eye function with CVD? When one type of cone doesn't work properly, and the color this cone would normally absorb is altered, then CVD occurs. So when the cones send their information to the brain will process the wrong color. For example, a person with a dysfunctional red cone cell will not fully perceive the red existing in purple. Since the red cone is dysfunctional, the brain will just see blue, not purple. So in other words, a person with CVD has dysfunctional cones, and the Incredible Hulk now looks like this. Now you may be wondering, how does a person get damaged cones in the first place? About 1 out of 12 men have CVD, while about 1 out of 200 women have it. The gene that leads to CVD is found in the X chromosome. Males only have 1 X chromosome, and females have 2. Typically in females, the stronger X chromosome overrules the faulty one, so females end up retaining correct vision. For a woman to have CVD, she needs to inherit a faulty X chromosome from both parents, which of course is a rare occurrence. I inherited my CVD from my mother, who's a carrier of the gene from my grandfather. There was a 50% chance that my brother and I would have CVD. And guess what? Both my brother and I have it. My sister, on the other hand, doesn't, because my dad didn't pass on the gene to her. Now that you understand what causes CVD, let's focus on my second point. What types of CBD exist, and what do people with those types do? When people find out that I have CBD, here's their typical response, and here's my response. People sometimes assume that those with CBD can't see any colors. That's not true. One colorblind person says from the website, wearecolorblind.com, quote, the colorblind think in groups: blue, green, gray, orange, red, brown, black, green, gray. Something can without a doubt be green, but most of the time you really can't be sure. So in other words, the box of crayons may look more like this. Now let's talk about the different types. People who can see all colors are called trichromats. People who see only 2 of the 3 primary colors of light, red, green, and blue, are called dichromats. People who put their best foot forward when they don't have a leg to stand on are called diplomats. And places where people go to clean their clothes are called laundromats. Okay, I'm off topic, aren't I? Okay, back to CBD. There are 3 types of dichromats. People who have trouble with green, easily confusing green with red, are called deuteranopia. This is the most common type, and this is what they see. I happen to fall under this category. People with protanopia have difficulty with green and red too, and this is what they see. It is difficult to detect much of a difference between these 2 pictures. One of the least common types is tritanopia. People with this easily confuse blue with yellow, and this is what they see. The most severe type is called achromatopsia. People with this see everything as if living in a black and white movie. This condition is very rare and only affects 1 out of every 33,000 people. Now you may be wondering, how are these types tested? The most accurate test machine is called the anemometoscope. When the tester looks through it, the top of the screen will be a certain color and the bottom will be another. The tester needs to try and match the 2 colors. Can you see the animals in this picture? People with normal vision can see the bear, deer, rabbit, and squirrel. I can see a fox, a cow instead of a deer, and the rabbit. This picture is an example of the most common color blindness test, called the Ishihara test. Because I'm colorblind, I can't see the words in these plates that my sister created. Now I would like to talk about some of the latest developments to help people see. Did you know that there are eyeglasses for people with CBD, which help to differentiate between confusing colors? Also, scientists are working on genetic engineering to fix CBD, according to Wired.com. In 2009, scientists used genetic engineering to cure 2 squirrel monkeys' red-green color blindness. In the future, scientists may even be able to cure blind people by using genetic engineering. There's technology help as well. For example, software called the GNOME enables computer users to switch a color filter on and off, enabling colorblind users to see different colors. There are also iPhone and iPad apps which help with color perception. These are all exciting developments for people like me. Now you can understand that CBD is no laughing matter. You also know what causes CBD, what types of CBD exist, and what science and technology is doing to help those with CBD. Meantime, if you're the parent of a child with CBD, you can help your child understand color confusion and how to cope with it. If you're a teacher, you can modify assignments that require color recognition and give students with CBD a partner who can help. My partner is my sister, She is always so willing to help me with things like my boards here. As I said before, having CBD has required me to adapt to my circumstances and to find ways in which to overcome my disability. That's why it's always good to overcome your difficulty. And sometimes having a friend or a sister help you is just what you need. And as you can see, it's good to have a sense of humor about your situation too.